important shit to talk about.
This is important shit.
These are like 30-year-old.
Fuck you. Welcome to another episode of
Nerd Out.
I'm Randy. This is Brian. Hey, Ming. Welcome to a new episode. First thing, I'm just gonna get right into it because you wanted me to get out of it, but I need to go on about this. I got the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie figures. No. See, hold on. Anyone who they're GameStop exclusives. They were San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. They caused an uproar. I think I spent 3 days online trying to order them for the San Diego Comic-Con, and I couldn't. And then GameStop made them available. Our buddy Nick got them, and he was like, "Oh, these are the greatest thing." And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool," but until I have them, I can't.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. And I got them, and I gotta be honest with you, I could make an argument for these honestly being the best collectible action figures ever. And hold on. I know. I'm serious. No.
For people that aren't into Turtles?
No. Okay, take that factor out. Okay, so clearly Brian isn't really into Turtles.
Not against them.
Okay, the movie was good though, right? Do we all agree the first movie, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it was cool, right? Yeah. It was fun. It was a fun movie. So these figures, at about $25 a piece, you got to keep that in mind. They are gorgeous. They are articulated as Look, I guess your only possible complaint is that maybe they could use a little bit more dynamic posability. But with that said, these guys were in Muppet outfits. Like you have to take that into consideration. And with that said, for NECA, I got to be honest with you, I was a little scared I was going to break off a limb. I pose these pretty good, and they're pretty durable. They look beautiful. I cannot imagine how these... Honestly, Leonardo's my favorite. Raphael's...
Yeah, because, his shell, his face,
I love the articulation, how the shell...
Alright, I gotta be honest, they're nice, but they're basically, all the same figure with different heads.
Of course.
They're good.
And different straps, but, if that's what you have...
If you're a turtle guy, I say go for them.
Who was your favorite turtle? Come on, everyone had...
Same.
Bullshit. Everybody had a favorite turtle. Leonardo the leader.
Donatello.
The nerd?
That Raphael, the pissed off one.
Yeah, me too.
That's Raphael.
Raphael, yeah. Raphael was my favorite because, honestly, the reason was because he wore the red sash, which is what was originally in the comic book. Yeah. And you and I, we both collected comic books when Ninja Turtles was just a comic book.
Yep.
So, not to come off as snobbery, but, I remember when the Turtle cartoon premiered, and I was like, what the hell? Because, as a kid...
I was never into the cartoon. I watched it, once or twice, but it didn't really do it for me.
For me, they were at... It came out in, 88, 89, and that was when I was starting to get to that...
On my way out.
Yeah, I was on my way out. With that said, I bought a few, mostly Raphael and Leonardo, and I appreciate them. I remember I would babysit for some kids, and they were into the Turtles. So when I put them to bed at night, I would seriously pull out their Turtles and play. That's kind of creepy, but I not really. I just played with their Turtles. Creepy. Right. And I remember that was I got a kick out of it. I got to play with their Turtles. I think they were fun. They were just and I appreciate them now. It was just a year or two removed from my true era, which was the 80s.
The whole thing is, even if I would have been of age, I don't think I would have been into them. They don't, I don't dislike them. I would have liked the movies, I would have watched the media, but I couldn't G.I. Joe or Transformer.
I get it.
They're cool. I would read comics and be like, but I wouldn't want to play with this. It would do nothing for me as a toy.
They were pretty. They built a pretty big world.
Yeah,
though.
I know. They're they had one of the best bases ever.
Terradrome.
Yeah. Their actual base was pretty good. The sewer.
The sewer
play set, and their van was did a lot of shit. Yeah. But it just wasn't my thing. It was too silly for me.
I could understand
even as a kid, not I was Mr. Serious, but I liked my toys serious as far as kids.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I remember
cute.
I remember my criticism was when the cartoon came out was that I did think it was a little too
it was cute. Yeah, it was cute.
And again, I don't want to come off I was into the Turtles before the Turtles became the Turtles. I'm just saying that I was aware of that.
We're old.
I was aware of that, right?
Yeah,
and we were comic book kids, so it's the Turtles as a kid. for us, we're like
black and white,
violent.
Yeah.
That
we couldn't really afford, or like I didn't have the money to touch.
That's right.
Like when we were
That's right. And they had.
You can't touch that.
They had no pupils in their eye, and they were kind of like evil. Not evil, but they
looked hard edge. They
were
hard edge. They weren't cute.
Right. They weren't pizza eating, funny guys. So, anyways, I just want to say, and then we'll move on because I know you're anxious. Raphael was my favorite because he wore the red sash, and he had attitude. But Leonardo would probably have been my favorite because I'm a sucker for the leader. Does that make sense?
He was the leader?
Yeah, he was the leader, and he had swords. I mean...
He had a trench coat.
Yes,
he looked so... If they did a trench coat one, that would be
I hope they do. I think they're making one in the large scale. I do want to say, whether you're a Turtles fan or not, I really don't care. I truly believe that these are, pound for pound, probably the best collectible action figures I gotten in a long time. I don't know, they are absolutely, they must be seen, they must be held to be believed. I mean, they hit the source material right on. They don't break, they got a good articulation, they got the weapons, they got personality, the paint applications are incredible. I mean, these paint applications
must have killed the price of the SDCC set.
Yes, totally.
Sorry, hoarders.
Let's talk about that for a question. I don't have a problem with that, and I'm going to tell you why. I understand how pissed off someone is if they paid $300-400 for that set. I get it. But my point is, I'm a toy collector because I want to have the toys. I want to play with them. Mm-hmm. I don't collect for value. So,
me neither. I don't sell anything.
No, I mean, I do sell sometimes to to replenish.
Buy more shit. Or
right.
If I need a safety because I'm worried something's going to break and it doesn't break, I'll sell my safety.
Right.
Or something like that. But I don't buy
You don't speculate on new market. If you're going to speculate, a safer bet would be to speculate in older merchandise. Now, with that said, if they do tell you it's limited, and so then you rush out to get it, and then you buy it and you pay the money because you want it, and then they release it, that would piss me off too.
Yeah, but we learned our lesson with that in the 90s, I would hope. Limited edition this, limited that, I mean...
With that said, though, that was false advertising, because they would say limited edition on the package, and then they would print 150,000
of
right.
them. Yeah, in the normal one would be the rare one.
Right, exactly. Right. But with these, I think that they did say, and I understand this pissed me off, they said that we're doing this one run, and that's it, and then they did another run. And that is kind of bullshit.
Is there anything that differentiates these between those besides the packaging?
The packaging.
That's it.
The packaging, which it's not. It's like DVD package almost. Mm-hmm. It's a little whatever, but who cares? Again,
I like the package.
Do you?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's clean and it's simple. Again, if you find these at GameStop for $25, I think, of course, you're gonna buy your favorite guy. Who's your favorite guy?
But how would you buy one without all of them?
You can't.
I mean, that's
you really can't. You can't buy you I guess you could buy you can't. You can't. You have to have all four. And I'm going to tell you, Leonardo's the best looking. And I don't know why. It's just subtle things about his face. And I like the coloring of him. Raph is my second favorite because Raph is my second favorite. Michelangelo is my least favorite. He was, I get it, he was fun, but he was a little too cowabunga dude for me. And I also think they made his eyes, which I understand is part of the character, his eyes are tripping out, he just did a bunch of math. But that's part of the character. I know you want to move on. So
let's get to
rubbish. So with that said, we'll move on. These turtles are amazing.
Yeah, they're beautiful. NECA, my God, get them.
Yeah, get them.
Yeah, they're incredible.
Before we jump into the shit you want to talk, can I show you something I bought today?
Yeah.
I know, yesterday. Dude.
I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Do it.
No, screw you, because I'm excited about
this. I said I don't give a shit. Do it. I meant do it.
All right. I'm just going to show this to you, and you know, we'll see what you think.
Oh my!
Come on! Is that not the coolest thing you've ever seen?
This is real.
That's real, dude. Open it. It's a full-on Krull Cyclops costume.
And it's flame retarded.
It's flame retarded. Did you ever know they made that?
No, this is insane.
Dude, I had to buy it.
How much did you get this for?
I'll just say I paid $40 for it. And I be careful, man. If you I'm not, dude. Why did they not make oh my God! Why did they not make Krull action figures?
I don't know. I haven't written it. Oh my god, this is crazy.
Isn't that beautiful? Would you have bought that, maybe?
Yeah.
I've never seen it before.
Dude.
I've never heard of it before. Why did they make that? Like, okay, first I asked why did they make the action figures, and now I ask why did they make the Cyclops costume?
Or white. I don't know. That is so cool.
I'll never see that again in my life.
No, you won't.
So, I'm going to thank Paul, but I don't think he watches this.
Wow.
It's amazing. If they made Krull action figures, I would be 100% all in. Like, I mean, that's one of the top 5 all-time wants is Krull.
Action figures?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's possible they could show up.
But
with all the goofy shit they're doing now, I mean,
that's true.
Manufacturing's getting easier and smaller, and more people can do it at their home computer.
I would love it.
I'll bet somebody does it. At some point, I think it's going to happen.
So you got the main character. I forgot his name.
Gulwin.
Cyclops. You got to make Liam Neeson's character because. Dude, when I was a kid, the spider scene scared the shit out of me.
The Lady of the Web.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Dude.
Francesca Annis, both.
Wow.
I want old and young one of her.
Francesca who?
Francesca Annis. I think.
This is why we keep you around. It's because you pull shit like that out of your ass.
My early 80s. Like ladies in the, do you know who she's married to, right?
No,
she was.
No,
Ralph Fiennes.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have thought that.
She's beautiful. She was smoking hot during that movie.
I would think. Hot. Is she still married to Ralph Fiennes?
I think they.
My thought.
They broke up recently.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look up a picture of her because like my memory of her was that she just terrified me.
Yeah, because of that makeup.
Yeah, dude, so freaky.
Beautiful.
I started watching it with Krull late at night. I think it was like Friday night with my daughter, and she was totally into it. And you know, I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, how would you not be? The music is awesome.
I was gonna say the music is so. Do you think the music is mismatched? It's like super heroic. No, that's perfect.
I love it.
I
think it's perfect.
It's very like, would it be called major chords as opposed to minor chords?
I don't know enough about music, but yeah, the only mismatch is that if anything, the music's too good for the movie.
Oh, I disagree. I love that movie.
I love the movie too, but I think the music is like one of the best parts of it.
Yeah, I agree, but why the movie works so well is because it is a mixture of fantasy and sci-fi.
Oh.
And I think that's why He-Man is so appealing, is because it's a mixture of like fantasy.
Wish He-Man
like Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I know. Lord of the Rings and Star Wars like mashed together. I don't know. I love Krull. Now we'll get to the part you wanna get to. So last weekend was the Winter Wonderfest in Japan. Lots of reveals. This is the Transformer part where either people want to hear it or they don't, and there's more than just Transformers. We'll start with the first one. They revealed a new masterpiece Bumblebee, which is G1 style cartoon.
I'm sorry, I hate it.
I do too.
Like, I don't dislike it. I don't think it's okay. I think it looks like shit. Its feet and his back slop. Sorry,
no,
I don't know how to talk
for
nice about it, and I know a lot of people love it, but I think it's terrible.
You know what I found is when I first saw pictures of it, I was like, all right, this isn't for me. We all know that I'm not into the cartoon,
yeah.
But then the more and more I saw pictures of like the new angles, I was like, my first impression was that it's not for me, but I think it looks good.
Yeah.
And then the more and more they showed pictures and you saw how the feet folded up and the backpack, I was like, ugh, that's like
I
pretty
dig
ugly.
the cartoon aesthetic, and I don't think that looks good.
It doesn't look
I think
good.
the original one matches a cartoon. Like, it's sort of like how you misremember the cartoon, and it's like, that doesn't look good. Like,
I don't think it looks good either. It's an easy skip for me. I'm not even, like, curious about it. Like, I mean, I guess I always am. That's bullshit. I always want to play with a toy. So, for me to say I'm not curious, that's crap. But it doesn't appeal to me. I will tell you this. I can say, and again, you are entitled to your own opinion about the direction of Masterpiece, but after Masterpiece Prime, which I'm buying as an obligation, I'm done. Like, I have no interest.
I get it, man, because you know what? I was thinking about it on the way here.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel obligated, but I can't do it.
No.
I can't pay $400 for plastic. That's Sola Chogokin money. That's die cast. That is die cast collector's piece, like, primo, what do you call upscale?
Like
not collector,
like luxury, not
as high
luxury,
as
like
it
high
gets,
end.
the best toy you can get money in, and it's just Masterpiece isn't it.
No,
they're good, but not $400 for plastic.
They are well made.
Yeah.
And if the prices were comparable to what they first were,
Yeah.
look, I like a good robot. I like to play with a good robot. I do not like the aesthetic, but I would still buy them just to play.
Yeah.
But like, I don't like the aesthetic, so it's like, I just don't understand why I would continue to buy them. Like,
maybe for the engineering, if it looked fun enough, but it doesn't, and it's just like I can't pay over $300 for a Prime.
No,
I will not do it.
Well,
on principle alone.
I agree. I did pre-order the Prime and since I've seen pictures of the square, what is it called? The Magic Square?
The Magic Square and the Transform element, I think they both rival.
I do too. And I did pre-order it through Amazon Japan, and I am having a bit of, like, I don't know, a little shock. Like, I'm thinking about canceling it. But I think I'm going to wait till the last minute. Because, like, I know as it gets closer, I'm going to be more interested.
When is it coming?
Good question. I'm going to say May.
Like, I promise I'll get the Magic Square and the Transform element.
I hope so.
So at least we can compare them. But, I mean, and I won't be spending as much as you.
No, that's what's crazy. They're about 100, like, those are about $100 a piece.
No, the Magic, the Transform element's 140, and I think the Magic Square is 100.
Okay. I like the Magic Square better based on what I've seen.
It's more like the MP10. It's brickier.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. And then in addition to that,
and that Transform element, that transformation is terrifying.
Like, oh, I don't want to do that then.
Yeah, but I don't think it looks incredible. Like what it does. Like I don't think any of the same surfaces are exposed robot and truck mode. Like, it's amazing. Like, shit slides and twists. And
does it look fun, though?
A little bit. I mean, it looks doable. It doesn't look like you have to worry about breaking it, but it looks like the type of thing you're going to have to look at the directions and really go through it a couple times. Like, Megatron's terrifying because the parts it doesn't look terrifying. Okay. It just looks like you have to do it right.
I guess the Bumblebee Voyager class Studio Series Optimus Prime has just started hitting weird. I really want it. I think it looks great.
Did you watch? Have you seen it transform?
I did. It looks complicated. That is a toy. The Voyager class Studio Series Optimus Prime from the Bumblebee movie. It's just starting to hit, and I think I would pay a slight premium to get it. Like now, that looks fun. I like the design.
Is it a $40 toy?
It's a $30 toy at retail. I think I'd pay $40 for it.
Yeah, I think I'd get 50 even.
Ooh, that's pushing it.
But what did you pay for the normal Prime?
I did for the Siege Prime. I did pay $40.
Yeah.
But I went through this whole process of like waffling and then like paying like I was gonna pay $30 or then $40. Then it kept going to $50 and then $60 and then I wish I could have.
And you had to ship it.
Yeah, it was $40 shipped. I think it was $42 shipped.
See, I paid $50 to overnight it. I needed overnight.
You're crazy.
I couldn't deal with that. Like it being in the mail and then like,
when you get focused on an item, you get crazy.
I do.
I get it.
And the worst thing is the items I get focused on usually aren't that good.
No, you're right.
Like the last thing I went nuts on was that Jetfire.
No, the last thing you went nuts on was like the VF-19 or something. Like I don't know, maybe not. The Jetfire you definitely went nuts on.
That's the only thing I ever paid like double for.
That was ridiculous.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Back to the masterpiece though. You like the Hound that they showed.
I think the Hound looks pretty great. You don't?
Here's what I think. I think if they would have taken that mold, and made the aesthetic again, it's a personal made the aesthetic similar to the Sideswipe, the Dotson brothers. I think it would be fantastic. But because they softened everything up, it just doesn't appeal to me. Like, are you going to pay $120 for it?
Yeah,
maybe.
I think so. I'll get that. Yeah, I can do that.
$80, I would buy it.
They don't do $80 though.
No, they don't. They don't. My point is that like, I would pay the ridiculous $80 for it, but I'm not going to pay the ridiculous $120 for it. I'm really.
They're too expensive, and it's like I'm pissed because I can't even afford to replace my Sunstreaker.
Yeah, you broke your Sunstreaker.
Like in 3 places. Yeah.
I mean, the thing was the back part of the Sunstreaker.
The back part, one of the doors busted off. Like, and there's no way to fix it.
Did you just get angry, do you think? You think you broke a piece and then you got angry?
No, you know like the part how the mirrors fold over?
Yes.
That's when it broke.
Okay.
And it's like, it's just, you got to put a lot of tension on that.
Yes, you do.
On that.
That's no, I didn't mean to cut you off. That is one of those toys that, like, I was perfectly fine transforming it with the instructions.
Yeah.
And then, like, for that first couple days, like, going back and forth. But once I put it down and then picked it back up, I was screwed. Because there are certain, like, things you have to, like, remember.
Yeah.
The one thing that did excite me, which you're gonna, poo-poo, is they showed the Masterpiece Black Arachnia from Beast Wars.
I think that looks gorgeous.
Yes, it does.
I'm not into Beast Wars, but that actually looks pretty amazing. That looks pretty. That as far as sculpts, like, yeah, that's pretty
I'm into
sweet.
it. Yeah, I'm
excited.
excited.
I'm excited for you to get it.
I'm really excited for that, and they showed more pictures of the Masterpiece Beast Wars Megatron, which looks fantastic. But again, you're not into that, But
speaking of it, but
yeah,
you know what I'm not into is that Masterpiece movie Megatron. I don't like that.
Do you not like it because you don't like the design? Because that character design's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't like the design. No, I think the toy looks beautiful, but like, why did they do that Megatron? Nobody likes that Megatron.
Because it's Megatron.
Yeah, but they should have done like the Dark of the Moon. The Dark of the Moon is like everybody's favorite Megatron, and like why do that one? Yeah. Nobody likes that Megatron.
Why is it that those Masterpiece movie ones are reasonably priced? Do they sell more of them, you think?
I have no idea, and they have metal in them. Like, think about it. They have metal. It's like, I don't know. I think they just know because G1 fans will pay more because we're older.
Maybe it's also smaller, like, narrower market. You know what I really like? I really like the Masterpiece movie Jazz. I'm going to get that.
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, it looks real good, yeah.
I'm going to get that. That was actually my favorite of the movie designs from the first movie. Like, it was the only one that sort of resembled a car.
G1.
Yeah, G1. Moving on with this Wonderfest show, don't worry, we'll get through it. They showed.
No, I gotta check. I got a work message.
Okay. They showed more Siege figures, and I gotta be honest, I don't care if it's $80. I love that Jetfire.
I think it's gonna be more than $80.
No, it's $79.99. Yeah. It was already announced.
Not bad.
Looks awesome.
I mean, I got the Phoenix, so I don't know. It'll have to be really good for me to get it, because it's like looks like the same toy.
It looks like the same toy, but it has like the intense like sculpt lines and like panel lines like the Siege stuff, and I like it.
I think it looks good. Yeah, I'm very curious about it.
It's big. Did you see pictures of the jet? Like, it's like the jet is like this big. That's a
real.
Big...
I thought it was 12 inches. The robot. It's about a foot.
The robot might be, but with the vehicle.
I'm curious.
Big.
Yeah, man. I mean, it looks very interesting.
It does, and the Omega Supreme. I got to be honest with you, like. With the Titan class ones, I was holding off because Ollie's and Big Lots or whatever were getting them for like $60. I think I might spend $150 to get the Omega Supreme right away.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one will probably be sweet. Like, and it's Omega Supreme. How could you go
wrong? I like
that
character. You know? I like the way he looks.
Looks fun. It looks like it's gonna do a lot of shit, which is always,
it's not gonna have motorized action though, right? That's a dead thing, right?
I mean, I wouldn't give a shit if it did, one way or the other.
I wouldn't either, but I liked it.
But it's really, I know the track looks really small.
Oh, really? Like
it's
miniaturized?
taller than it is wide.
Okay.
Yeah, the track, at least it looked like it to me, like the track is like...
I'll have to look at it again.
But yeah, that looks sweet.
The Star Convoy?
Does nothing for me.
Really? Why? I like the Star Convoy.
Man. It looks like, I don't know, like...
I think Star Convoy has that, like...
I wish they would have done Star Saber.
Yeah, but we have Star Saber, the Masterpiece one.
Yeah, but we have so many Prime. It just looks like a Prime with junk on them.
Yes, it does.
Like,
I like it, though.
I don't think it looks bad. It just doesn't do anything, like, for me. I mean, if I saw it tomorrow, don't get me wrong, I'd go buy it.
Yeah. But I like that, I guess it'd be like, what you call it, like a Godaken red, blue, and orange color combination. I love that color combination.
I didn't see a colored one.
They didn't show it, but I know who Star Convoy is.
Yeah.
Like, he's got that, like, very traditional red, blue, orange, silver, Japanese...
Is it going to be a retool of
That's a good question.
I think it looks sort of like a retool of, what is it, the Power of the... Not the Power of the Primes.
The Cybertron, Galaxy Prime.
What's the Prime that came out about 6 months ago that looks super G1?
The Siege?
It's not Siege. No.
No.
It came out before that. You know, come on.
No.
It's the one that Orion Pax fits in the armor.
Oh, the
whatever that one is.
The Power of the Primes one.
Is it the Power of the
Prime?
Prime?
I don't think so.
It looks a lot like it.
I'll have to look at pictures.
Because if you look how the dude goes in, it almost looks like it's gonna be a retool. I don't know. I could be totally wrong, but it sort of looked like a retool of that.
I'll have to take a look at another picture of it. I also like the Armada Prime because I wasn't a fan of the Armada cartoon, which I don't know if you saw. I thought it was pretty crappy, but I kind of like the design. I remember they came out with. Do you remember the Supercon Deluxe Optimus Prime toy?
I think so.
It was a good Optimus Prime. Like it didn't age very well.
Was it like the fire truck one?
No, it was the one that. It was just like a regular semi-truck, and then he made a deluxe version. Like, they made a combiner, and I didn't like the combiner version, but I liked just the Supercon part. And it did, I don't know how to describe it, but I think it looks kind of cool. Again, maybe a little Prime overkill, but, Prime sells, right? So it's that's why they make them.
Yes.
I think the Siege is... Hasbro has to have some sort of kudos for what they're doing.
Yeah, it's their best line they've had in years.
Yeah,
I think. I mean, at least since Combiner Wars. And before that...
Well, I like Titans Returns, but I think it's... I don't know how
I like Combiner Wars more than Titans Returns. I think.
I don't know.
It's close.
Titans Returns seem to have its own, look and feel.
But they bitched out at the end when they started doing the half Combiner War, half
Yeah, I mean all lines peter out, but I agree. And then it just sort of morphed into Power of the Primes, which was a terrible line. I didn't like it at least.
Yeah, and all their not their leader. What the Voyager? What are the mid-size ones?
Yeah, they suck.
They all
the
suck.
Voyager
all
class,
their triple changers suck.
They did.
Everyone.
Suck. You're right. That Galvatron was awful. And then, so, I think...
That was one of their cool ones, too. And in its robot mode, I thought it was one of the ones that looked best in robot mode.
Minus the head. The head was a disaster.
Yeah, that helmet thing was stupid.
Does that mean we're not going to see anything new for Toy Fair next weekend? That's going to be a big-time episode.
Yeah,
find out. Did they blow their load at Wonderfest? Yeah, I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out.
All right, so... There were other things at Wonderfest that piqued our interest. I'm gonna just
blow it.
The Ryobot Sentinel Alpha.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing on my list.
Blew my mind. After that
the evolution blew my mind before I owned it.
Dude, no way.
Before I owned it, I thought it looked beautiful.
I didn't. I disagree. I mean, you did.
You weren't into it before. Why'd you get it then? You spent $300 on it
because I was desperate for a new Alpha, and I was
still.
I was so burnt from that Evolution one, which I sold immediately, that I didn't have any interest in... I was like, I'm done with the Alpha, and then when I saw these pictures, I was like, I want this Alpha. I'm in. It looks beautiful. If that finish is anything like the pictures, that high gloss, it doesn't look like a cartoon. It looks like a robot. I want it to look like a robot.
I just hope it looks like it looks in the pictures, but I care how it feels.
Yeah, for sure.
I need it solid. It's because I personally think the Evolution looks pretty good. I have no problem with the aesthetic on it. It's just mine fell apart. Mine crumbled.
It looked pretty good.
Yeah.
But it looked pretty good. Not $300 pretty good though. It looked like $180 pretty good. Looks. But that thing was a piece of shit. It's all around.
It's terrible.
I will never buy another Evolution product again unless 5 years down the line, after years and years of quality improvements, they can. I mean, I want my money back on that. I sold it. I think I sold it for $100. I was like, I don't care. Just I just want to recoup some of my money. I hate that thing so much. But this new Alpha looks great, and they showed the Lancer, which looks good.
Did they say what that Alpha is gonna cost?
25,000 yen. Does that sound right, or 250,000 yen? Whatever.
250,000.
Okay.
I don't know.
So we'll probably get it for about $250.
I'd pay $250 for that all day long.
I will too.
That's cheaper than the Evolution. Question is, what size is 1/45th
1/45th scale?
I mean, I know the figure will be probably a couple inches.
Did you see that it comes with an articulated figure on a Cyclone?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't
give a shit, but.
Well, here's something that makes me nervous. They also showed the Lancer Cyclone. That is $200. 200,000 yen. So the question is I think...
Hold on. I'm going to do some math.
Yeah, I think the engineering involved in the Cyclone is far more greater and perhaps more cost
But it's over. They've already did it.
Yeah, but they still have to recoup their money. I mean, I don't know.
200,000 yen?
Yeah. So
20,000 yen maybe?
Yeah, 20,000. It's going to be $200, like $190.
USD is 180, 108.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say the
Alpha was how much? Did it say?
25,000 yen or whatever it would be. So
25,000 yen. Yen. Damn it.
It's going to be about $250 delivered.
Yen. I'm way up. Sorry. Keep talking, man. I have to wait for.
Yeah. No. I mean, I'm super excited for it. It blew my mind.
226.
226. So with shipping, and then you're gonna overnight it, right?
Oh God, yeah, dude. I want that fucker. Like yeah.
If
drop
it's
shipping.
good. I mean, it looks beautiful.
I just hope it's big enough.
Me too.
I know it'll be good, but now I'm scared. If it's the size of the Toonami, that's gonna be a bummer.
That would be a bummer.
But I need it I want it as big.
I need it to be 10 inches, which is like the Gaping.
Yeah. That would be sweet.
I'm with you. Like, size is the only thing that...
Size does matter.
Size does matter when it comes to that. I mean, it deserves to be bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Lancer they showed, not the Rook. And I mean, are you gonna... You're in for the Lancer?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, God, yeah. Why not? Yeah. I mean, it's sort of like... It'll make that Scott and the stick in the race so much better. Because, what by the time I got the Ray, I was sort of bored. I wasn't bored, but it's not a fun toy.
Well, it's not only not a fun toy, which I agree with you, but even everything is the same except for the human head, and you only use
the gauntlets are different.
Yeah,
a little bit. But yeah, it's 90% the same toy, and it's like, man.
At least the Lancer will have a different color.
Yep.
And he'll have those sweet swords that come out.
And his armor is the blade.
Is it?
It's completely different. I mean, it does the same thing, but yeah, his is Lancer and Rook are pretty close to this. They're a little different, but they're really close. You know? They have different details.
It's a slimmer body, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's newer, actually. Scott,
that's right.
Yeah, Scott and Ray got the old school ones, whereas Rook and they're newer models.
Well, Scott and Scott was straight up military. And then Rand, did he steal his? I don't remember.
He stole his off like a crashed ship or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess he didn't steal it. He just took it.
He just borrowed it. Yeah. It was a time of
Wild West.
Yeah, it was West. My favorite part is that I think based on a map they showed that it's somewhat in
I told you that's in
Michigan.
Midland.
Yeah, it's Michigan. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they had to have been aware of that, right? I mean, they didn't just I mean, they had to. What was the motivation?
No, you don't remember where it showed it?
I do. It was a map, right?
On what map?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was in the movie actually, but yes, it's in Midland, Michigan.
I wonder why they did that. I mean,
it makes sense. All the wooded areas and stuff.
Okay, surrounded by water, maybe the Great Lakes.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like Michigan most of the time in there.
Hey, if anything happens in this world, we are probably in the best place, Michigan, because we are surrounded by.
Place.
No, we're in the best because we're surrounded by clean, fresh lakes.
It's true.
I mean, we are in
we
the
have
best
the most desirable land.
That's right.
People will want it.
That's true.
We're gonna get. They attack to come in here.
Yeah, they're gonna come to Michigan, right? They are taking our resources. We're gonna be drinking the water, though. You know. So, that's sort of I'm excited for Toy Fair. I do want to make a note based on the last episode we did. We talked about whether we're going to see G.I. Joe this year. My new answer is no, and the reason why is because Hasbro sent out a notice recently that they are looking for a brand manager for G.I. Joe. And
Call them!
Yeah, I would love to, but what am I going to do in an interview? Say, hey, I think I could manage G.I. Joe because I like G.I. Joe. I mean, I don't have the qualifications other than the fact that, I'm pretty confident that I could make a good line. But if you're in a meeting with me...
Call them!
I would love to, but, what resume am I going to send them? I have no experience. I just know that I could do it.
What are they... Call them!
I looked at the resume.
Call them!
I couldn't get in the door. The only thing on my resume...
how would you know unless you tried?
Because I don't have the qualifications to lead a major brand, other than the fact that like I'm super nerdy and I really am passionate about it. And I do think I have some marketing skills, but I don't have a resume that says I can.
Yeah.
All right, Hasbro, if you're watching, I'm your guy to run G.I. Joe. Last thing, and then I'll let you go back to work, and then I gotta go back to work. Movies. I want to recommend, if you haven't already, Overlord. You liked it. I liked it.
I thought it was pretty great. Yeah, it was real good.
That one slipped through the radar, right?
I guess, yeah. Like, you were blowing me up about it. Overlord.
Well, here's why. Because
you download it, and then I started thinking about it, and then it kept not being available. Yeah, you were on that. You had a boner for that for a good month.
That's right. And I mean, I heard good stuff about it. It was one of those movies that like was getting buzz at like the festivals or whatever. But the director of that movie, which I don't believe he had any like real previous credits. I mean, he did like some movies, but like nothing you would ever heard of, or I think maybe like shorts or something. Yeah. He got signed to do the new Flash Gordon movie.
Which, if you think about it, it'll be really good, because this movie has scenes that sort of resemble Flash Gordon.
Really?
The plane crashing. Like the whole...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's sort of like that whole part is like the beginning of Flash Gordon, and it lands in a strange... I mean, it's not, but it's like...
Well, I mean, Flash Gordon was World War II, right? Yeah. It was right before Nazis invaded. Yeah, because...
Well, the real Flash Gordon, but not the movie.
No, Sam J. Jones, don't you remember? Oh, maybe you're right.
That took place in the 80s.
You're right. But I thought...
I hope Wyatt Russell plays Flash Gordon.
Right. Oh.
Ford.
So,
the guy who played Ford. He looked like... I didn't... Like, as soon as I found out, I'm like, yeah, he looks just like Kurt Russell, sort of.
Yes. So, one of the main characters is Kurt Russell's son. His name is Wyatt Russell.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know... first of all, Kurt Russell is...
the shit.
Yeah, Kurt Russell and Jeff Goldblum are my two like guys. Like, they can do no wrong. And then you told me about that, and you're right. He would make the perfect Flash Gordon.
And I hope he gets picked,
too.
Because I like him.
I did too.
He's like a straight up hardcore, like asshole type of guy.
And
especially in Overlord, like, did you think you didn't know if he was good or bad or not till a little bit into the movie when when he's beating the fuck out of that Nazi.
Yeah.
It's like, of course you want him to beat the Nazi, but it's like you didn't know if he was gonna be like the military guy that goes too far, and like. He's awesome.
Well, he was
perfect.
I don't want to spoil Overlord because I really think it is one of those movies that you should see. But if you've heard of it, you know, great. Give us your comments. If you haven't heard of it, put it on your list of movies that I'm going to see. It's very violent and it's
But it's a great tough guy movie.
It is. I
loved it for that. You don't get a lot of that anymore.
No, it is good. And what I was surprised, and I think we both disagree, I thought it was going to be more tongue-in-cheek, and I didn't think it was. I thought it was taken very seriously.
I thought it was a little bit of both. I mean, like...
It didn't have a lot of comic relief, man. I thought...
Yeah, but I thought just,
when I read the premise, I thought it was going to get goofy as hell.
Like, I thought there was some unintentional tongue-in-cheek in it.
Okay.
Just, but it worked. It worked, but it's like I found myself laughing at parts that I'm supposed to be scared at, but I do that anyway.
You do that out of being uncomfortable, maybe, right?
I think so. I'm like, wow, this is not happening. Oh, it is, and it's just like the over-the-top violence.
Yes.
I found it amusing.
Yes.
And I guess that's just because I find stuff like that. But I think everybody does now. We've seen so much. It was so good.
Yeah, it was good. It was totally a good movie.
I had a grin on my face through most of it. It was great. It was great, and all the good guys are good.
Yeah, and it went in cool direction.
Yes,
I liked all the characters were
all pulled their weight. Yes, did their thing, and everybody got their moment.
The bad guy was a good bad guy. Yeah. So again, we're not going to tell you too much about it. Don't read. Just watch Overlord, knowing that you're going to get a pretty intense vibe.
Are you curious about Velvet Buzzsaw?
I am.
I'm very curious.
I haven't heard any buzz on it. No pun intended.
I've heard
I like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Me too. I love Jake Gyllenhaal. Man. That guy's one good-looking dude, man.
He
can act his ass off. Yeah, I think he does both. He's a good-looking dude, but he can be ugly and
I think he's got the creepy eyebrow. He's creepy looking. Like he looks like he could be a creeper.
Yeah, but only when he wants to be a creeper.
Yeah.
Man,
So real quick too. There's been rumors of Robert Pattinson playing Batman.
Who?
The guy who played Edward in Twilight. Okay, people are giving a lot of shit, but who cares? Like, yeah, I mean, look, I'm not a fan of the Twilight.
How old is he?
He's probably like 32. So he's gonna play like
I like Affleck.
Affleck's done. He's done.
I know. Yeah. I've heard.
No, he's done. He's done. But
how do you know? Because I've like what.
I mean,
what?
I think it was like officially announced that he's not returning as Batman.
I thought it was official. I thought they didn't know.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm 100%.
Like I heard he's probably not. I've heard that, but I didn't hear like he's officially.
I think he's officially off of it.
That sucks too because he was good.
He was good, but I mean,
bad writing.
He was given terrible.
He played it right. Yeah. I thought he played it right.
Me too. And with that said, I just want to say I'm just saying. I saw Robert Pattinson, like, is it Pattinson, whatever?
I'm looking him up. Keep going.
I'm not a Twilight fan. It wasn't marketed towards me. I wasn't the guy for that movie. But the actor, he's a good-looking dude, whatever. So he's gonna. But I think he could be given a chance. Like, remember how we felt when Michael Keaton got the role of Batman? Do you remember how we felt when Heath Ledger? Yeah. He's just a dude. But I mean, like,
whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Like, I'm just saying,
give it to someone who hasn't done anything. I say find a new guy. You know what? Like, no one will ever be as good as Christian.
Christian Bale. You're right.
I mean, no one will be that good. Don't find some teeny heartthrob.
Hold on. Christian Bale's also on my list of actors that I will always love and respect.
Yeah.
But his Batman was a bit over the top. Would you not agree? Like, I liked it, but it was over.
Bruce Wayne he nailed Bruce Wayne better.
I am Batman. Like, it was a little bit over the top.
That was stupid, but that was bad writing. I mean, that was, unless, like, I don't know who told him to make his voice like that. Whoever's called that was stupid.
Christopher Nolan?
I don't know who's responsible for that. Maybe Bale did it and no one was too scared to tell him not to because he'd flip out.
I would not
Would you tell that guy, hey?
Hell no.
Yeah, so...
If I'm having Christian Bale in my movie, I'm giving him full reign.
But his Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
Nailed Bruce Wayne.
I agree.
And that's, to me, what mattered the most. I mean...
Because Batman is just a man in the costume, as opposed to, like, the Bruce Wayne being the character.
Well, he nailed Batman. Just the voice was tough.
It was.
But you can almost turn the voice off and like, just
I'm not saying it...
But I thought Ben Affleck nailed it in some ways.
Yeah,
he had bad writing. He had a shit script. But, like the whole thing is for an older Batman.
Yeah.
No, I think they've got this.
Well, we do agree that they're going to have to go younger, right?
I guess, why not do both? Like, you could have... Like, if they take place at different times, I mean, they're comic books. So you can draw them differently.
That's true.
As long as it's not, like, you can't... If the movie, like... As long as they're different, like, you know what I'm saying?
Universes?
Like, yeah, sort of like...
I think DC works better that way. I think DC works better not as a multiverse. I think it works better as standalone movies that don't need to interact with each other. I think they can make a Batman movie that is unrelated to another Batman movie. And I'm perfectly okay with that.
I'm totally good with that.
Me too.
But, like, what about Justice League? What do you do there? Like, I think if they do a Justice League... If they revisit Justice League... Batfleck has to... Like, you can't replace him. It would not work. But then you can have a movie come out. But if they're going to do a Batman movie, have a young guy do it so you can get a few movies out of him, you know?
How about a Justice League similar to Kingdom Come? That would be
I don't know DC.
Oh, okay, Alex Ross, you know Alex Ross?
Yeah.
He did a series called Kingdom Come, and they were, like, all older, and, like, I guess it was embittered and not fun. But with that said, like, I think that would work for Ben Affleck. An older, more embittered world. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I like DC. I'm not a DC hater.
Cavill's out too anyway. I heard.
Yeah, I heard that too.
He likes money and like he thinks he's as good as Marvel.
I like Cavill.
Me too.
I like him.
I thought he was pretty sweet.
I do too. I think again. I just think that the material was not. It was not properly approached, and we're on the side of probably the majority. Although we both like Batman vs Superman.
Love it.
And I like Man of Steel.
I watched all the DC shit, like all the Superman stuff last week.
Justice League is bad.
Yeah, but it's watchable. It's bad, but it's watchable. It's like, but it should have been the best one, and it's the worst one. Like, that's sort of what's crazy about it. I'm excited to see Aquaman.
Aquaman was visually appealing, but it was 45 minutes too long, and 45 minutes is...
Then how doesn't that mean it's bad?
Yes, it is.
So it's bad.
It's bad, but it looks really beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just say it's bad.
It's bad, but it's visually beautiful. Like, it's... I definitely enjoyed watching it until the last half an hour, and like I could forgive the fact that like it was bad. I think Shazam looks good, but whatever.
I'm so excited for
yeah,
Shazam.
Yeah.
Test screens say it's real good.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
On that note, anything else? Next weekend is the New York International Toy Fair, and I can promise that we are going to have a good episode after that, and we're going to probably, hopefully...
you think there's going to be anything we're going to be excited about that we don't know about already?
Not really. I mean, we already had a little taste of the Power Rangers stuff, and it didn't impress me, but maybe they're... I mean, they just look like blocks. And... I don't know what we're going to see. I think we're going to see a lot of cool stuff we already are aware of. Like, I think we're going to see some cool Marvel Legends, but we already know Marvel Legends. We're going to see some cool Star Wars Black figures, but it's not something we have never seen before. Like, I don't think we're going to get anything that's going to be like, where did that come from?
Is there anything like that? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't... I would love to see something that
they're really limited about Star Wars with a new movie coming out. We're probably not going to see half of it.
That's
of what they're going to release.
That's true. So you're right. We're going to just see a couple.
We're going to get screwed on Star Wars,
which is
fine.
Yeah, fine. It's fine. I'm kind of. I don't want to say I'm on Star Wars overload, but it's good to take that little break.
I've been like nerding out.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You got to be
careful. I can't
stop
it.
I know you got to be careful.
For what?
Because you're setting yourself up for. High expectations, and your crash is going to be wrong. I'm not saying it's not going to be a great movie.
Yeah, but I need to do it because it's like the exact opposite energy of 8. Like,
yeah,
it helps me get over 8, hearing what they're doing, what they're rumored to do with it.
That's the problem is that
I'll take the high now. I don't care if the movie sucks. Like, I don't care. It feels so good to have things that like
excite you about Star Wars.
Exciting, and I'm interested, and I'm getting like episode 3 sick. Like. Episode 2, the second they started making episode 3 was all I could think about.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it's sort of like, I like that.
Yeah,
like I like being sick like that. I need it.
I do understand, and I have followed your advice to watch the little things, and I have been enjoying it. With that said, I'm trying to keep a distance, but it's hard once you start.
Yeah,
you need a fix. You get like these fix,
and you have one on, and you start doing something, and it skips to the next one.
That's right.
I mean, that's what I do, and I'm like doing other things, and it's like...
And all these people do is like, they take like slight...
and start speculating on it.
And they get ridiculous. Like, and then you start thinking about it, and you're like, oh, wait, so then, I mean, that's...
Which is good, though. I mean, that's what it should do, is make you think about it.
Yeah, but then what if we end up turning a story, then, again,
well, that's our fault.
Trust in JJ, right?
I trust him. I loved 7. I love it.
I do too.
It may have had its faults, whatever, but I still love it.
Me too. Because it's a
now,
fun, watchable movie.
And it's a Star Wars. It feels like you're watching a Star Wars movie.
I agree.
You can't beat that.
I agree. On that note, we'll see you next weekend. Until next time,
Nerd out!
Buy these turtles. They're really awesome. Teenage. Dude, do you remember that Turtle power? Turtle power. The turtle rap? Oh, so good. I wish I could put it on.